I want to go through a bunch of new leaks for Modern Warfare's Battle Royale mode, Call of Duty Warzone. As the days progress, we're getting more and more interesting leaked information about this game mode here. We had the first teaser in the game which confirmed all of our suspicions that yes, we're going to be getting a Battle Royale mode, but now we're getting a lot of different stuff like the actual specific features within the game, a bunch of different leaked images, what the actual map looks like, and what we're going to be going through today, some of the actual leaked gameplay revealing a new training facility, and the features that we talked about a couple of months ago are now in action. Before we start going through this here, the Gaming Revolution actually uploaded the leaked gameplay. He says, major rip in the chat, imagine copyright striking gameplay of your own game, maybe just don't add stuff into the files before it releases to avoid people accidentally accessing the content. And he got a strike, a copyright strike from uploading the leaked gameplay. But the funny thing is here, this is all it was. It just showed some people picking up some stuff and plunder, like wow, huge spoiler guys, we didn't already know that info. So if you guys want to know how this leaked gameplay actually came out, it's from a glitch in the game. So if you're playing Modern Warfare, a couple of random people actually just got randomly glitched into the Warzone lobby and they got put into a training facility for Warzone. We'll explain about all of that stuff in a second, but pretty much that's just what happened, and it's technically not leaked gameplay because people accessed it without hacking, without going into the code, without going to the PC files. It was just a glitch that put them in the lobby. So it does suck and it's a little bit of a weird situation, but they did strike the gameplay. And he also says, imagine you're streaming Modern Warfare and you unwillingly accidentally get booted into the Warzone testing ground and then Activision strikes your stream. That would be pretty funny. That would suck, but it does make sense. Now, obviously, am I going to do that here? No, we're going to be talking about the leaked gameplay. We're going to talk about the leaks and what we're seeing there. There's a link down below, but let's just go through and talk about what we're actually seeing here. So this is the training grounds for Warzone. It's called the Armistice Training Facility, and pretty much this is a place where you go to test out all of the main sort of features of this Battle Royale mode. Now, we don't know if it's in its full form here, if everything you see in this training ground is actually everything you'll officially see once this training ground is actually implemented into the game when the game mode is released. But for the most part here, a lot of the main features that are highlighted are probably going to be transferred over to this main Battle Royale mode when it comes out. The main thing here is definitely the fact that you have drop kits in the game. Drop kits are pretty much these things that are sort of like supply drops that you use plunder, which is the in-game currency, which I'll talk about in a second. There's a lot of stuff on plunder, but you use the in-game currency to buy a drop kit marker. You place down where you want the drop kit to land, and then you open it up, and pretty much what's inside is your creator class that you preset before you started up the game. Yesterday we saw a bunch of the creator class options, and a lot of the assets from multiplayer were leaked and were in the files of Battle Royale, and we were wondering, so why is that the case? Because having a creator class option for Battle Royale doesn't really make any sense, because that means everyone's starting off with an AR or all these different attachments that other people may not have depending on your ranking in multiplayer and how much you play multiplayer. Doesn't make any sense. But the drop kit is something where you're not starting off with the creator class, but you need to earn the in-game currency, get the drop kit at some point during the game, and then you can get your creator class, which obviously has whatever you made before you went into the Battle Royale lobby. And I'm guessing a lot of your progress will come over from multiplayer, but that may not be the case, because if Call of Duty Warzone is free and there's a bunch of people that don't have Modern Warfare but are also playing this game mode, there's no way for them to have any progression in multiplayer and to have any weapon progression as well. That wouldn't be fair for them, so maybe they'll work some way around that. But pretty much here, you're accessing your creator class later on, and that does make sense because it's a fair way to get an edge over the players, because you're using the in-game currency and you're not actually spending money on getting these extra drop kits to have access to your creator class options. That's pretty much what you're seeing in this leaked gameplay. A drop kit comes down, he opens it up, and you can get all of the weapons that you preset before the lobby. Now, just to talk about the actual training area facility for a second and what the map looks like, it's nothing too special. Like the Gaming Revolution said, he was a little confused as to why Activision strike them, because they're really not revealing much in that training area. You're not really seeing the whole map. I mean, presumably that facility is located on a section of the map, just like how you spawn into, let's say, PUBG or H1Z1 or Fortnite. You're on the map, but you're on a separate island, or you're in a separate area within the map itself, and it's closed off, and you're not gonna be able to access it when you're actually playing the game in Battle Royale. This is most most likely that. It's just a little section. So in the gameplay, you can see sort of the elements of what it looks like. You have stone brick walls surrounding it, sort of a grassy area, almost a Stonehaven from COD Ghost vibe to it. But other than that, it's nothing too revealing as to what the actual map looks like. And the map has sort of been leaked a couple of times now. You can go into different areas of Spec Ops and pretty much see exactly what the map's going to look like. It's also been leaked in a couple of different forms. One way we have seen before, and there's another way now where people are going into spectator mode and looking at the whole map. So it's coming out very soon, but if you want to know, again, it's a mixture of a lot of the Spec Ops locations and also some old sort of remade maps from past Modern Warfare games. Now let's go through something else seen in this leaked gameplay of the training section here of Battle Royale. It's the supply station. This is where you can use plunder to get a bunch of different important equipment here. I'm going to read through the equipment and then also we'll talk about what that means for the actual game, because it seems like there isn't a lot here. And from the leaks that we did talk about, it seems like there's just a lot missing. Now this obviously could be that it's not completely finished yet, and since it was accessed from a glitch in the game, the glitch may not reveal all of the actual features for Battle Royale. But in the supply station, you could buy an armor plate bundle for 1,500 plunder, gas mask for 3,000 plunder, precision airstrike for 3,000 as well, shield turret, cluster strike, UAV, munitions box, and drop kit marker. Drop kit marker is the most expensive one with 6,000 plunder. That obviously makes sense because you're getting a whole create a class with all of your attachments, your kill streaks, your field upgrades, all of that different stuff. So it's a lot of money, but it is worth it in the end. Now with these things here, especially the armor plate and the gas mask, and there was a helmet that was in the league as well, and that seems to be missing here unless you can get the helmet from a different location. Maybe you just get the helmet by looting around the map, and they're separating stuff from things you can get just from looting versus things you can get from the supply station. That could be true as well, but in the leaks it described a bunch of the equipment as having multiple levels to it, so level 1, 2, and 3, and the armor plate bundle definitely had some sort of tiered variant to it. The gas mask as well, a level 3 gas mask would obviously make it so when you're in the gas, when you're in the zone, you actually have more health and you can survive it for longer. You're not going to instantly die. Same thing with the armor plate and different stuff like that. Now I guess there doesn't need to be different levels for maybe the drop kit marker, because you're only getting one type of drop kit, and the precision airstrike and the shield turret, those are pretty generic there. But definitely for the equipment that you actually put on and affects your gameplay, there should be varying levels in that, because if not, the point of this Battle Royale is to make it so it's sort of different and you have all of these different strategies and you have all of these different ways to continue to loot, and you need to be motivated to loot as well. If there's only one type of gas mask, there's going to be no reason to loot and find a better gas mask, and there's going to be no skill gap. It's just going to be everyone has the same equipment, and it would turn into a pretty lackluster Battle Royale, the first one without any varying equipment. So we'll see what that means. Again, this is leaked gameplay. It is, from a glitch, so who knows, they may not have all of the stuff in here. And to be fair, the leaks that we did read were, over like 8 months ago, I'm pretty sure. These leaks came out before Modern Warfare even came out, and there was a whole ton of Battle Royale information going through all of the different equipment, the weapons, and everything. I'll probably go through that information again just to let you guys know these are all the possibilities as to what we could be using, the features, the equipment, the weapons, everything, what we could be seeing in this game mode. But at least as of now, we're getting some concrete evidence that yes, we are going to be seeing for sure the supply station with these pieces of equipment, and again the drop kit marker with the drop kit where you can access the create a class slot and all the different stuff. So it's finally cool to see some confirmation of stuff we've been talking about for a while now, and there's a ton of other leaks that are actually being leaked as I record this video. There's all different stuff that we're going to go through, and obviously this is all happening because the huge update on Tuesday included so many of these assets for this Battle Royale mode, because they're getting ready to do a surprise drop. Everyone has all of the assets already downloaded, so once this game mode drops, it's going to be immediately available for everyone to play. And we're not going to have to wait 10 hours for download times and all of this different stuff. I mean, Season 2 for a lot of people were not able to play until the next day. I mean, people were taking such a long time to download. It's not, obviously wasn't their fault. It was a 61 gigabyte update, or it was 51 on the PS4, 68 on the Xbox One. But regardless, they're both huge updates. It took forever, but at least we got that out of the way. So once this game mode drops, we'll be ready to actually play it. And again, I'll go through some more leaks here, but it's coming very soon. All of these assets are here. Everything is coming so fast, and we're finally going to play this Battle Royale, obviously 100% within Season 2. I remember we were scared that we weren't going to get it. If it was delayed, it could be potentially canceled if it was released too late. But the leaks have always said, if you guys have been watching, beginning of 2020 was when the Battle Royale was going to drop, and it's the beginning of 2020, and it's right on track here, and we're getting it real soon. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.